Okay, the JoeJoe Show 24, for those who don't habla, coming at you with the hottest topics north of the tropics. Speaking of tropics, we survived Hurricane Bear. It came, it went. Blessings. Count your blessings, prayers, the demographic from our families from coast to coast. Thanks for your prayers and thoughts. A lot to go over tonight.
Yeah, we actually just real quick, we actually kind of looked up. There was a tornado that passed right near the house. I actually have some pretty decent footage. You can't really see the tornado, but you can see something forming. And on the news, they kept saying, "Oh, it's passing by this area, it's passing by that area." I'm like, well, hell, I live right down the street, you know.
Even with the grandkids, we got into a center part of the house, and we're hoping for the best, and it was the best.
You know, it's crazy, and you kept saying when that cat runs in that room or that cat goes hide, I'll go in the room. And sure enough, dude, I was outside and I was trying to get some good footage, and sure enough, that cat took off. And then that's when that storm, the sky was just like a grayish purple. And you could see the clouds looked like they were going all the way to the street, you know.
Yeah,
it
man,
was wild.
it was freaky looking. But thanks for all our subscriber and listeners that thought of us and let us get that Friday night show out prior to the storm.
Yes, first things first. Thanks for everybody that called in that night. That was fun. That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to do that more often.
Pre-storm shenanigans. But Parker in the house, great grandbaby in the house, and Ashley all the way from Key West, Florida.
Right. We got like a whole family party over here that's going on behind us. So.
That's it. Shout out to my cousin Joanne there in Florida too, and her family. But anyway, 50 years ago today, globally, nationally, and locally for sure, 50 years ago today, the moonwalk. Tomorrow, really, the guy went on the moon. It was a big step for mankind, small step for man, and all this stuff. But it's done. They never went back, and it was our space race against the USSR at that time, and I never really believed in it because there was a movie, and why didn't they go back again? They made a movie right after.
Yeah, dude, that's one conspiracy theory that I never wanted to go down, and a rabbit hole that I never wanted to go down.
See where he gets it.
And I'm probably not going to go down because you know why? I'm trying to focus on things that are inside of the planet.
Okay.
I don't focus on anything that's outside of the planet.
There's a lot of trash and waste out there in space, just like there is here in the Earth, around Earth.
All the flat earthers and stuff like that, dude, I can't get into it. I'm more focused on what we can actually do something about.
They proved that years ago with the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. But anyway, round 2 of the Democrat debacle debate tonight. It's Jurassic Joe versus Kamala. It should be pretty good. Let them eat each other alive. And they're playing that dumb race card again. And Creepy Joe, those guys, I think that Beto got 0 in the poll the other day. And I think Cory Booker's he's going to drop out or something. I don't know. But then some dropped out and some are joining in. So who knows what's going on with those Democrats.
Yeah, dude. It's like a clown show. It really is. Come on, dude. If the best the Democrats can come up with is Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, then Trump 2020 is a lock. I'm sorry. And that's another thing. That's another theory that I have is that they're all in the race just to line their own pockets because they don't have to give back that campaign money. They don't have to give back the campaign money.
Yeah.
And nobody who knows what's been going on, even if you're a Democrat in the last 10 years, is going to vote for Joe Biden. Come on, man. Or Kamala Harris. Now, if you do your research on Kamala Harris, it doesn't take you long to figure out, like, I'm not voting for her.
Yeah, that's it. So good luck with that. I don't know what channel it's on. I'm not going to watch it. I'll just see all the sound bites and read the, the papers the next day or whatever I catch any information on. But we got SEC Media Days is just wrapping up. Football season less than 40 days away, 45 days away again. And just got to say something about Nick Saban. I mean, he's genius of a coach, but, man, he will defer to blame and said they weren't they weren't really ready, and they were distracted in the national championship game against Clemson. Yeah, when a team goes out there and just runs roughshods on you and matches you defensively, yeah, there is a lot of distractions. You're going to wind up losing the ball game.
Yeah, they got beat by 30 points. Here's what happened, because I don't want to spend
30
any more time. They got beat by 30 points. So here it is. Oklahoma exposed Alabama defensively. And then in the next week or two, whatever, Clemson actually had a defense. And they went out there and running all the same plays Oklahoma just ran against them. And Alabama couldn't do anything about it. And Saban knew it. You go back and watch that game. Second quarter, they were beat. They were done. So you could see the look on Saban's face. You know why? Because he's out there against LSU and Oklahoma, and he's got that Saban look, and he's all bitching out the defense and stuff like that.
Plus the referees. He's got the referees.
Yeah, and not only that, but he's bitching. And then during the Clemson game in the second quarter, he's just like, yeah. He's got that look, that defeated look on his face because he knew his team was done.
I like when he was down here at LSU and he got beat by somebody. I forgot who it is. Says, I wasn't playing. They didn't play the way I coached them. So more excuses for him. But the Georgia sound bites, some of the Georgia players at the media days, SEC media days, said that A&M was their toughest game. So take that, Nick, and go with it.
Yeah,
but,
I'm telling you, like I said on the last show, if you watch our little CFP preview, dude, I don't have Alabama in the top 5.
There you go. I think they're going to get there, but it's going to be tougher than you think. I don't know if Tua will last the whole season. Locally, East Baton Rouge School Board cut 300 jobs. A third of those people coming from the classroom. And all the money was being spent on the charter schools that they get in and out of East Baton Rouge Parish. They're going to lose in the classroom teachers and transportation. So good luck with that. It's a Democratic city to me, and there's just no infrastructure on how to keep the budget for the schools. I don't know what they're going to do, but good luck to the kids going to school. That's why we live in a different parish here, and good luck and hope everybody matriculates and makes it to the next grade level. Ascension Parish President Matassa went on a Las Vegas trip to the tune of $16,000 plus while the hurricane was bearing down on his city. And he said, well, his back is hurt. He couldn't do any sandbags, but he could have stuck around. But he was going anyway. But this guy, Matassa, is one of the radio guys were talking about it this morning. I mean, he's escaped bribery charges. He's like the Teflon parish president, you know what I'm saying? And, he escaped bribery charges, so I can just do whatever I want. He said he left it in good hands, but then his first initial thing out of his mouth was, well, my back is bad, and I can't bag sandbags. So I guess, that's all he was going to do anyway. Yeah. But luckily, we didn't need him.
All right, well, I mean, Matassa, as far as what I know, he's allegedly a career criminal / politician.
Yes.
So that ought to give you some inkling there, So look, but let's get back to the EBR thing real quick before we move on to way bigger topics.
Right on.
The East Baton Rouge school system, boy, year by year, they just slip further and further, dude.
Yeah.
So they start the year with a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And then...
And money.
And money. And then halfway through the year, those kids can't make the grade, so they don't get the vouchers no more.
Yeah.
And so there goes the charter school. Hey, they're not making the grade, so the charter school doesn't get the money or the state money or federal money or wherever they get the money from, so there goes the charter school.
Yeah.
So then you're back to the East Baton Rouge Parish school system, and then there's a weight on the school system again. The whole voucher East Baton Rouge, school system is just a mess, dude. It really is just a mess. And really and truthfully, if you're not going to take the necessary steps now to really start correcting the real problem, dude, you're just going to keep digging the hole further. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, dude, I can't. You can't sugarcoat anything anymore,
Yeah,
dude. You
I
can't sugarcoat anything.
You know, they said they're going to have trouble with transportation, the buses, this and that, and then they're going to have not
and
enough
who's
teachers.
gonna pay for it?
Not enough teachers in the classroom. Here we go, another tax mill.
Maybe they can try to shake down Exxon.
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen.
Boy, slap in the face. Anyway, the Rolling Stones were in the state. They rocked the Superdome. Got some listeners, Aunt Fee and Sharon
I
and
heard
Tommy.
you. I hope you had a good time. I hope y'all had a blast. It looked like a fun deal, you know. I mean, even though the Stones are God, they've got to be.
They're almost as old as what is that family? The Flintstones, man. They're old,
but
dude.
it doesn't matter.
75 plus.
If they're still touring and they still sound good, by all means, dude. It looked like a good show.
Yeah,
it looked
I saw
like a good
couple
show.
of other videos, and a guy told me today that his mother went, and she's a Stones fan, and she's 72. So figure it out. Great time for that. But
That's great. I'm glad that they're still able to do that.
we're gonna rat-a-tat-tat. We got a lot to talk about. We got some topics that Little Joe. I'm gonna present Little Joe with it in a minute. I'm holding the mic here for just a little more. Just one national thing besides the Democratic debate tonight. Be sure to watch it. But anyway. Trump versus the Forgotten Four, the four women freshman congresswomen that trash America, that trash everything that Trump says or does. They're putting up the Green New Deal. They're suspects on their countries of origin, this and that. He's doubling down. They can say what they want to say. They can, praise Al-Qaeda, no Holocaust, this and that. They can say anything they want to say. I don't even know what these people are doing in Congress besides looking at their phones and listening to sound bites of what Trump says or Twitter or this or that. So to me, they're out of the picture. I think the chant they had the other day where he was having a rally was send them back. Well, some of them weren't born and raised here, but they're here legally or illegally, just like the people trying to get across the border. So to me, that's a never-ending battle with Donald J., our president, that he's going to tell it like it is. And if he's got following, I think his sentiments are the same way all of us feel, all of you feel, whether you can express it. That's what socialism, that's what democratic these people are trying to do. Socialism wants to quiet everything down, so you can't even say anything. You can't wear that hat. You can't go to the polls. You can't stand in the face of these thugs and Antifa and not get busted your lip for just expressing your views as they're expressing their views. So that's what it's all about. I want to silence that, and then you can't say nothing. You're afraid to even go outside, and then the government will take complete control.
Right.
What do you think?
You better do something about it now. You better stand up to it now because you're going to wind up like Europe. Yes, that's right. The United States, you never thought it would happen, but you're going to wind up like Europe, okay? Yeah. You better stand up to it now. You better do something about it now because here's where they're going to get you. Your kids. My child is 13. Of the kids that are 10, 12, they're going to be indoctrinated into this system that, you can't say nothing because you'll hurt somebody's feelings or,
that's it.
Or you'll hurt, you don't want to be a racist.
You can't tell the truth because that's hate speech.
But then again, what is racism? They're being racist towards you. They're being racist towards you. That's racism. If you're like, a bigotry towards another, a person with a different skin color or a different ethnicity or a different even way they believe or a religion or something like that. And that's what this is all about. But that's what the Democrats are pushing. And that's why they have 4 women. They're trying to make them the starlights. 4 minority women, if I'm not mistaken. Who is it? Is Rashid Tlaib.
Yeah.
I married my brother, Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
Crazy Eyes.
AOC.
And who's the other one?
Presley.
Presley. Yeah. A black woman. Okay.
Right.
So, dude, we're not fooled. We at the Joe and Joe Show are not fooled. I could see this coming a mile away. Yeah. But what you want to do is educate yourself on the whole situation. These political farces of politicians, as the 4 I just named. Look below. We're going to link to some links, okay? It should be right below. It's the Conservative Review or something like that. This guy, he has a really good take on it. You might want to go follow him. on YouTube, subscribe to him or whatever. You have the Joe and Joe Show blessing.
That's
so
it.
go check him out, because we can't spend too much time on it, but he's got about a whole 20, 30-minute show devoted to it, and he really breaks it down to what these people are. So you go ahead and educate yourself even further by clicking one of the links below. But wait till after the show first, huh?
Yeah. That's in a nutshell, globally, national. Oh, well, globally, I mean, the biggest thing to me is the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. We went over that before. Gonna boil, this, that. They did this. We shot down a drone. No, you didn't. This and that. No, we took 25 people off that ship. This, that, and the other. So they're going to escalate something to try to get us involved. We don't need to be involved. And if we do get involved, we need to take care of it quickly. But, I mean, that's all I got globally. Anyway,
okay, but real quick on that, they're trying to pull Trump into a war. The deep state, the bad guys are trying to pull Trump into a war. And you know what? Trump's not going for it.
Why would we?
Trump's not going for it, dude. He's playing the game, and now I told you in past Joe and Joe shows, if you've been watching that, there's all kind of variables that we don't know, and there might be stuff that we don't like. And I could sit here 2 weeks from now and be like, Trump got to go. If you've watched this show, you know that I don't support 100% any politician. I don't care I don't care how good you are. I don't support anybody 100% because you can't. Human nature, you can't support. You cannot trust anybody. I don't care who you are. You cannot trust anybody, okay? So do not trust Trump or any politician, or if you're a Democrat supporter, please, in no way, shape, or form should you be trusting Democrats at this point. So just remember, take everything with a grain of salt, even if you think that Trump is not being fooled by the deep state, okay?
Yeah, man. They know what's going on up there. They control everything, and that's going to lead us to our biggest topic. We got some topics and theories and things going around nationally. Internationally, whatever, and I don't know if y'all picked it up. I don't know you having a segue to it, but this was the anniversary week of JFK Jr., John Kennedy Jr., dying, his wife and sister-in-law in a plane crash off the coast of Massachusetts. I don't even know how many years ago now, but that's never really been solved.
20 years, Joe.
20 years?
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It just seems like it just happened.
July 16th, 1999.
Okay. Well, there you go. And then there was a report out, the government sprayed and put ticks. Ticks. I'm talking about ticks.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Blood-sucking organisms
Dude, I
out
can't
there.
believe I forgot about that. Thanks,
Okay.
Joe.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, let's get to something real quick. All right. Here it is.
Give me the scientific name.
Listen. A tick.
I know, but it's got to have some kind of name to it.
I don't know what is the scientific. Lyme disease? You ever heard of Lyme disease?
Yes.
For a few years now, I've heard of this story, and I was like, that's a little far-fetched. But here it is. It was a senator from New Jersey, and we'll link below that the Corbett report and his conjunction with New World Daily and the guy that he does it with. They're going to talk about it a little more, as well as all kind of other stuff. But here it is. So the U.S. Congress, under a defense authorization bill, they are now requiring the Department of Justice to look into weaponized ticks. That's right. Ticks that get on you or your dog and bite you and cause Lyme disease. That's right. Being used by the Department of Defense as early as 1950 as a biological weapon. That's right. I couldn't make this stuff up. This is true.
They used it on Americans?
Yes, so the Pentagon weaponized ticks. We've seen all the surveillance insects, and it's obvious Congress is pursuing this because they know something that we don't. So this is not some wild goose chase. If you were to design the worst insect imaginable, it would probably be a tick, because a tick could bite you and inject its tick serum and get you all sick, and then that's it, you're done.
Well, man.
And this is going back. The study is going back from 1950 to 1975. So Who's to say they stopped in 1975?
Oh, yeah, man. And it's still out there. They got it on the shelf if they want to use
We're
it.
talking 25 years of the Pentagon allegedly weaponized, that they know about, weaponizing ticks.
What else you think they could weaponize? What else you think they have weaponized?
Oh, dude, mosquitoes, roaches, dude.
AIDS?
AIDS? Oh, yeah, dude.
Crack epidemic?
Yeah.
Huh?
Another show.
Yeah,
The list goes on and on. And listen, let's get back to the topic we just talked about. But I know we went off topic there. But I'm just saying, dude, do not put anything past these guys anymore, dude. It's officially a government run amok. And I know everybody has probably known that for umpteen years by now. But you know what? I'm 40 years old. I was born in 1979. Dude, what else are they not telling us?
I'm telling you. We've covered a lot of topics what they're not telling us here on the show in the past 6 months. And believe you me, when I saw that about the ticks, bing, he texted me right when I was reading. He texted me, that's a show. And I mean, we're just trying to inform you. I mean, I know there was a bed bug epidemic here, and there still is, but ticks and bed bugs are, in the same bed together, so to speak, if you ask me.
How about this? A few years back, those crazy conspiracy theorists, they even think the Department of Defense weaponized ticks. Oh my God, these guys, they'll just come up with anything. Well, you know what? Score another one for the conspiracy theorist.
Correct. I mean, there it is. It lays it out. It gives you more to think about. If you think everything is mamby-pamby and
How about this, Joe? Let's just, for all our listeners out there that think we're full of BS or that think that, hey, we should just talk football.
Comment, please.
Dude, I saw this beautiful unicorn the other day. God, it was so beautiful. It was just galloping. And, dude, when I saw the unicorn, when I looked in the unicorn's direction, I saw a beautiful rainbow. Just just gleaming on the unicorn's, the little unicorn thing, the horn,
Yeah, man.
And it was so beautiful. And, man, and God just said, what a wonderful world.
Oh, man.
Good God.
And was a cow farting at the same time?
Dude, this is it, bro. You have to do something at this point. You have to at least acknowledge that all this nefarious bad stuff is going on, dude.
And you think we're the only ones caring about it. There's thousands out there that do. And it's just who you vote for, whatever. It can happen. Whoever's in office, who's ever up there. I mean, and whatever is mandated. And this little Joe has said it for years. It's controlled by something else deeper than the deep state. And, we need to move on to other stuff. Well, anyway, like I say, getting back to John F. Kennedy Jr., who was John, and he made that famous salute while his dad's casket pulled down Pennsylvania Avenue when he was just 3 years old. He saluted his dad's casket, and the single horse that they had there, the president was his dad, assassinated by another show. We'll get to that. But anyway, long story short, it kind of leads credence to all these years what he had on his thought processes once he found out maybe who was responsible for his dad's death. And I think that when that plane was flying off the course, even it was in a rainstorm and he was a novice pilot at that, even they said he was having marital problems, this and that. He was taking them all out, him and his wife and his sister-in-law, whatever. But the case may be, that's a conspiracy that makes a lot of sense.
Joe, I'm sorry. You just described the official narrative.
No, okay. Well, I got it from you.
You didn't get the official narrative from me.
Okay. Well, I'm making it up.
Here it is. No, it's crazy because that's what most of the American public and the world public knows.
Give it to me.
That he was just some dumb bumbling idiot. He just flying his plane, and it wasn't in a rainstorm. It was hazy that day or that night or whatever.
Right.
And he was just some dumb bumbling idiot. And he crashed his plane. Oh, God, what an idiot.
All right, give it to me. Settle down. Give it to me in your narrative.
You're right. Let me settle down. Hold on. Let me reset, everybody. You have to think. This little boy was sitting there saluting his father's dead body riding by him when he was 3 years old. What do you think that does to a person? Oh, wow. somebody killed my father.
Yep.
I don't really know who it is, but somebody killed my father. And then probably get to about 5 to 10 years, 15 years old and be like, somebody killed my father.
Well, 2 years later, 5 years later, somebody killed, they killed his...
killed his brother, killed his uncle. His uncle. So you have to think like you be... And his mom is Jackie O. She had the blood of Kennedy's brains or blood of Kennedy on her suit. When she's sitting there with that picture being sworn in with LBJ, she's got Kennedy's blood on her. What do you think that does to a child? What do you think that does to a family?
So what do you think? He did?
Here it is.
How did he progress from
we're running out of time. Hold on. Here it is. You really want to know what happened to JFK Jr.? The media portrayed him as some bumbling idiot. He crashed his plane by accident. That is not what happened. The official narrative is that he was by himself flying that plane with his wife and his sister-in-law or something like that. Poor girl. And he crashed his plane by accident. No, it wasn't no accident. And he wasn't flying by himself. If you link below, there's a much longer documentary by this guy named John Hackney or Hankey or something like that. This dude is a journalist by all the means of journalists. Like I'm surprised they haven't suicided him yet. You got to think, who stood to gain from John, just some regular civilian? He wasn't even running for political office yet. Who stood to gain from him dying? Well, he was going to run for the New York Senate seat. Who was the running for New York Senate seat at that time? That's your homework. Go look that up. Who was running for... I bet you think of one person that comes to mind. I mean, I'm sitting here laughing. It's sad. On the grand scheme of things, who really was threatened by, here we are, JFK's son. All pissed off, like, I'm going to avenge my father's death. Not to mention, he had a successful magazine at the time. He had already amassed millions of dollars. I mean, he's Jackie O's son, He had a beautiful wife. They were going to get married. And he was getting his pilot's license to fly like a bigger plane, like more like a Learjet type of plane. That's just what his hobby was. So he wasn't no bumbling idiot. He wasn't no dummy when it came to flying. He had been flying a long time. But the media is going to have you believe that he was an idiot. Well, here's what happened. So he's trying to go, and he had hurt his leg, yes, in a semi little plane crash because he landed wrong in the plane he was in earlier, and then he got a new plane called the Piper Saratoga or something like that. Follow me, stay with me, everybody. He didn't want to fly. He was trying to get his pilot's accreditation, his license to become like a pilot to where he could fly certain planes, to where he didn't need an instructor. But you have to log so many hours with an instructor to get this license.
Correct.
And he was wearing a boot on his leg that day. Now, granted, you don't need a boot to fly, but you need two working legs to fly. I mean, to work the brakes and the rudder system, like when you land and take off, right? So that you need an instructor for that. Then you're trying to log all your flight hours with an instructor so you could be qualified, so you don't need an instructor anymore. Okay. Now, there was all kind of BS stories put out way after the fact, and the documentary will go into it. Just watch the documentary. But let's cut to the chase because we're running out of time on the Joe and Joe Show. I've probably lost half of the audience already. So for the people that have stuck with us, so the people that have stuck with us this long, you're really in for a treat. Here it is. When they scoured the wreckage at the bottom of Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? He crashed right off. He crashed the plane crashed right off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. That's right. His mother's home outside in Martha's Vineyard. Some of the wreckage even washed up on the shore of his mother's house where he spent a whole bunch of summers with his mother. That's right. Could you get any more tragic than that? But let's get back to the brass tacks, okay? They recovered everything except one of the seats, which was the passenger seat, and the bag with the flight log in it. Now, why is that important? Well, first and foremost, I don't have to sit here and explain to you why one of the seats is missing. I think you know why one of the seats was missing. Also, the flight log is going to tell you who's on the plane, whether or not you have an instructor and all the people that are on the plane. Those were missing when the wreckage got discovered.
Wow.
But it gets better. Hold on. If you want to go into the rabbit hole with me, are you ready? Turn the show off. Turn the show off if you're not ready. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Hold on.
1, 2.
All right, that's it. So if you still are watching the show, here it is. When they found the plane, the NTSB totally overlooked this. This is the smoking gun glaring thing. This is it. If you stuck with us this long, you're like, well, Joe, what are you getting at? Here it is. On that plane and on every other plane out there, they have something called the fuel selector valve. The fuel selector valve on JFK Jr.'s plane was found in the off position. Do you know what that means? That means when the guy that was flying the plane, helping JFK Jr. sitting to the right of him in the passenger seat, because you know they have two controls, what he did, he yanked the plane down and like, oh shit, what are you doing? And then what does he do? He pulls the fuel selector valve to off. And what that does, that shuts the engines off of fuel. It shuts the engines off because the engines don't have any fuel. So, you're going like this, down like that, and the fuel selector valves is shut off. That's it. You plunge right into the ocean because you can't pull it up. You can't pull the thing up because you can't like start fighting the dude and start beating him up and then pull the plane up and then like, whoa, man, that was close, this crazy guy. No, he shut the fuel selector valve off. Now, granted, in a Piper Saratoga, you still might could glide a little bit. But here's the kicker. I can't believe this. Nobody even looked at this. Yes, because there's nobody in position of authority to look at it. Okay, so look. Go watch the documentary because they explain it a lot further, dude. There's way more stuff going on, but here's the gist of it all. Okay? 15 weeks later, Egypt Air, Flight 800 or Flight 900 or whatever it was, okay? The pilot of Egypt Air killed everybody on board, plunging his 747 into the sea, carrying a bunch of Egyptian top brass military.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, when they found that plane, the fuel selector valve was turned to off.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Dude, you can't make this up. So, because see, a fuel selector valve in a 747, of course, if you're in a 747, you start yanking it forward. Well, there's like 5 other pilots standing around, so they're going to jump on you and start beating you up. So what do when the plane's going down like this and they're trying to regain control? You go pull the fuel selector valve. And a 747, all it's going to do is just going to keep going down like that.
Yeah.
And it plunged into the ocean, killing all 200-something people on board.
Okay.
15 weeks off of the coast of Martha's Vineyard. The same place JFK Jr.'s plane went down 15 weeks later.
Man, unbelievable. You better check the link, people.
Please.
He didn't make this up, for sure.
Look, go watch the whole documentary. Dude, there's more that I'm not telling you, but this is the basics of it. And
why? Why? Just let's get to the why. Why do you think?
Why do you think what?
Why do you think that his fuel selector valve was off, and why do you think they wanted JFK Jr. did? Did I say it earlier, or do you got... Just in a nutshell, we're running out of time.
Because JFK Jr. was a threat to his father's killers.
Okay.
He was a real threat to his father's killers because he had a successful magazine that started publishing all kind of articles alluding to the fact that his father was not shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. And if he gets into government, he's going to reopen the investigation. Dude, did GQ magazine vote George H. Bush the sexiest man alive in 1999? Hell no.
No.
They voted JFK Jr.
Yeah,
the
well,
women
goes without
women
saying.
would have voted for him just like they did his dad.
Yep.
The women would have threw themselves, oh, wow, look at him. He was charismatic. He could speak eloquently. He was a Kennedy.
So if he was if he would run for Senate, who would he be running against?
I'm not going to say it.
Why? Are you afraid of your life?
Bro.
Not being here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, dude. People got to connect their own dots on this one, bro.
Right on.
It doesn't take you
New
more.
York
Senator. It doesn't take you more than just about 30 seconds worth of your search engine to see who was the senator that won that election in the 2000s elections. I'm sorry.
That's it. It's not that you heard it first here. You check the link.
Go look at the links. Go watch it.
Look at the documentary. It's been there. We didn't think it up. I mean, these subjects came up, just like the ticks, just like JFK Jr. If we've lost you, I know a lot of people want to talk football. And look, it was fun last week that we did almost 30 minutes of football. It's not everything, and that's what, it defers us from all these stresses that we do have of local, national, and globally. But, I was talking to someone today, all will be forgotten once, the first kickoff here, within 45 days or so. And it makes a lot of sense. And, people will be tailgating and people will be worrying about and what the Coach O did, this, that, and the other, and what are the Saints are going to do. In this area, it's all regionally and nationally. It'll be the same football literally being thrown around and to relieve you of the stresses of this, that. Well, how long is it going to keep going on if we let society the way the Democrats want it, the way socialism wants it? How long will we be able to continue that? Colorado State University is doing away with the verbiage of anything to do with Americans or America. I saw it today. I can't elaborate on it. Go check it out yourself. The gender, this, that, and the other. It's changing. The kids are changing. These kids are in college. The biggest universities in the nation, across the nation, these professors are espousing all this. We said it last time, to just downplay everything that's good, and every time you say something else different or letting the truth out, which is not hate, they shelve it and they say, no, this is the way it's got to be. Everything has got to be politically correct. The left doesn't like this, that, and the other, and it's going to run us in the ground. I'm not telling you what to do with it, but realize what's happening out there. Ticks, conspiracy.
Weaponized ticks.
Trying to draw us into another war in Iran. That's why I keep saying, let's get it over with. But we're going to get to the shout-out part, and Little Joe's got his last-minute bite.
Listen, I'm going to post links below. Watch them in this order now, but please stay with it. If you got to watch them in parts, by all means, watch it in parts. But please stay with it, because this is the stuff you have to teach your children. This is the stuff that your kids have to know, that you yourself have to know. Even if you don't tell anybody, just at least educate yourself on it, okay? There's a couple of links below. It's going to be the actual JFK assassination, and then right behind that, I'll put the JFK Jr. assassination, okay?
I had a listener, tax-paying retired citizen of Louisiana, United States of America, saying he thought he was turning into Archie Bunker. He's trying to enlighten his daughter, who's college-educated, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, but I mean just trying to enlighten his daughter to look what's going on. Don't, see the big picture if you can. And he felt like he was Archie Bunker, which Archie Bunker, to me, hit a lot of nails on the head back with his show. And that was Norman Lear. And that's all that started from back then, from every topic that hit, just like the topics we just like we go over here. I feel like I'm one of those coaches in the Big 12. I got my little play. Well, especially Lincoln Riley. Let me put that. But
now you ain't no Lincoln Riley. I'll tell you that.
That's it. But I could and did move an offense back in the day. Listen, I got another shout out. I think we're rushed. Hell, we go over.
Yeah, you're just not talking into the mic.
But I got another shout out. Well, really not a shout out. It's just my old school here, Stroomy Indians. All you listeners out there, Mike, Greg, whoever else who knows me, that they're cranking up football again. Here we go about football again. All our problems are solved. Football is starting. They're going to crank up football after a hiatus of a couple of years. We wish them a lot of luck. They're really revving it up down there on the reservation, and good luck to them. I'd like to shout outs to Heath Mendoza, Lance Corporal, Marine in Okinawa, Japan. Godspeed to you. Heath got a birthday coming up, the same as mine, in a couple of weeks. Same day. The demographic from our family across the nation. Keep your heads up. Listen to what's going on. Maybe you can help out. And shout out to KT Kane in Chicago, a.k.a. The Shadow. Saw that latest episode. I'm kind of in the dark about it. You're going to have to fill me in.
Either which way, it's good, dude. I like what I'm seeing.
And I worked this week at a opening of work this week at a restaurant that's going to open in a couple of weeks. It's going to be called Too Saucy. It's a pasta bar. I want you guys to check it out. I'll be giving you more information when that date comes too. But it's next to a health place in the southern part of the parish. It's next to a health club. So what else but cardio and carbos go along good. But I know. Check it out, and I'll let you know more about it.
Here it is. I mean, if it didn't make any sense to you, all the links below will provide anything you want to know. Okay, just go watch it.
That's it, man. We're gonna go out tonight. This is the Joe and Joe Show. All you little ones, drink all your milk and stay on your knees a little longer and say those prayers if you get a chance.